What is up everyone, Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys another episode of Gears of War lore. Today I'm going to be talking about a character that was only in the comics, but honestly his story was, while short, was pretty amazing, and I liked it. I really wished that this was actually more expressed in the games, but it was just a quick, short, but sweet story. The character I'm talking about actually is Jonathan Harper. He was actually a character that was only shown in about a few of the comics, and he actually had his own chapter for himself. And he was a sergeant that pretty much was fighting the Locust for quite a while, and he actually wasn't that old. I believe I was looking into the Gearspedia, and it was stated that he was actually 14 years old when E-Day happened, meaning by the time of Gears of War 2, where his story takes place. He was about 28, so he was not that old. He was a pretty young guy. And pretty much his story simply was that he was in a squad with actually Barrick, and he witnessed the light mass bombing with him and actually caught Rustlung as well. If you remember in the comics, it was stated that Barrick caught Rustlung, and that's actually how he decided to die. He decided to go out and risk his life to kill the Locust to save his squad because he knew that he was terminally ill, and that's what happened to Barrick. And what happened to Harper though was Barrick died before him, and Harper was still around during the events of Gears of War 2 when Operation Hollow Storm happened, pretty much where they drilled into the Hollow and went after the Queen and fought the Locusts on their own turf. And during this whole time, he was very stressed out about his rust lung, but once he was down there, it kind of became a secondary issue because, he was on the Locust turf. He was with the squad that basically were trying to investigate the Hollow and find the Queen, but they were kind of thrown off in a weird area that was nowhere near the Queen, and they eventually got ambushed by a bunch of drones. And a huge portion of his squad was killed off, and he was one of the very few survivors after that battle. And even though he survived, he was actually captured by the Locusts alongside quite a bit of his squad members and other humans that were in there as well. And he got to witness the horrible torturing techniques that the Locusts issued on the poor survivors. And he got to see, people being maimed and ripped apart, and just overall horrible, horrible torture. It was driving him mad seeing this happening. And he was actually captured, and at the very last second, when he was captured, and he was put into like a cell, and once he was in the cell, he was just waiting for the Locust to come and get him. And at the last second, a drone came in to get him, to take him to one of those weird things that they put the people in, like the one that Maria was in when Dom found her. And at the last second, he snapped. And actually, one thing I really, really like about the actual quote, I'll read it to you guys right here, is actually really interesting. He says, they took us as POWs, prisoners of war, tortured us, demeaned us, tried to break our spirit, but they didn't break mine. They tried, and they came close, though. But when they tried to put me in those fucked up coffin things, something in me snapped. Don't know if it was the rust lung delirium or what, but when that drone came to take me, I smashed him. I had laid into him like I never had. One punch, one pissed off human fist in his face, and he was off balance. I think I grabbed his throat next, crushed his windpipe, but I don't even remember. I just know that I ran for my fucking life. I wasn't gonna die down there. Somehow, some way, I was gonna make it back to the surface. I had to see the sky again. And then it goes on to show him like fighting alongside Jace. He actually ran into Jace's squad and worked alongside him while they were in the Hollow and made it to the surface. And then he helped with the evacuation of Jacinto at the end of Gears of War 2. And then this was actually kind of a sad part to see when I read it. He says, I saw the sky again today. Never thought I'd see it again, but I escaped. I made it. I survived the Hollow. And I got that little girl and her family on that Raven. Took these bullets, but I saved that family. No medics around, but that's okay. The sky is so bright, and I finally feel all right. Warm even. And I keep hearing that little angel telling me thank you with her sweet little voice. She said she'd pray for me. She said she'd pray for us all. And pretty much what it shows in the book is you see that he got shot while he was helping that little girl and her family escape on a Raven, and he bled out to death. while everyone else was escaping. And his story was honestly really sad to me. I really liked his character. I really liked it. He was just a normal guy who just wanted to fight and survive. He was just a normal, relatable human being fighting these horrible things. And I actually think that's why I kind of liked him, because characters like Marcus and Dom are awesome, but they're not fully relatable at times. They're extremely badass and they fight hordes and hordes and hordes of locusts, and they just survive because they're just that badass. While as someone like Harper is more relatable because he's just a human that, he just wanted to survive. He just wanted to see the sky again, and he did everything he could to save a little girl. And it was just crazy to see his story. And honestly, I kind of wish his story was a DLC story. I really, really wish that they actually made his story into a DLC, so they could have shown more of the torturing aspect of the Locust, shown him, escaping. And I think his story was really interesting and dramatic. And I felt like it could have been expressed better in the games. And kind of sad that it was only just a short chapter in the comics. But overall, that's Jonathan Harper's story. And honestly, I really liked his character. But anyways, guys, if you guys liked this video, please definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about Jonathan Harper's story. Do you think it was sad? I personally thought it was, but also very interesting. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.